So today we're going to be talking about the Norvina palette versus the Lunar palette from Bad Habit. I picked the Norvina palette up when it came out and I've been using it for a very long time, and then when the Lunar palette came out from Bad Habit, I picked this one up as well because I wanted to see if there was a difference. I have not found much of a difference between any of the Bad Habits that have duped any of the Anastasia palettes, but you never know, so I picked it up because I wanted to see and I wanted to be able to tell you if one is better than the other, or if you need to spend the $42 or the $16 to get the looks from the palette. So let's go ahead and show you what the difference is. The Norvina palette has 14 different shadows, just like their standard palettes from Anastasia. It does come with a felt top, and it's purple, and it has an 18-month shelf life, and it is cruelty free. The Lunar palette from Bad Habit also comes with 14 different colors. It has a black with a moon shape on it, 12-month shelf life, and it also is cruelty free. And here's the colors for that. So the difference in the palette for me was just a few of the shades. They're slightly different, but not enough for me to say, you need to get one or the other. So I'm going to go ahead and show you some swatches. So as you can see, the swatches came out almost identical. There are some of them that are slightly different, but when you swatch them on the eyes, they are not different there. Some of the shadows in the Norvina palette are just a little bit softer than the ones in the Lunar palette, but as far as the way they blend on the eye, they blend both the same, very, very creamy and very, very shimmery. So we're going to go ahead and get into the demo of both eyes so you can see how they kind of worked out. So I went ahead and used the Bad Habit eyeshadow primer on both eyes. I feel like both of the shadow palettes went on nicely with this primer. So the primer I highly recommend. I've been using it for a while. It's a great primer from Bad Habit. The first color I went in on the Norvina palette was Incense, and I used that as a transition color with the Morphe 441. And you can see it blends really, really nicely. It doesn't have any skipping or any blotches or anything like that. So I think it's a great color. And then with the Lunar palette, I went in with Aphelion, which also blends really, really nicely. No skipping. I feel like Aphelion needs to build up a little bit more than the one from the Norvina palette, the Incense. But once you build it, it looks identical and you cannot tell a difference on the eye. And I think once you build it, it is a little slightly more of a deeper color than the one in the Anastasia palette. So that's going to be a preference if you like one or the other more, but I feel like they're pretty similar in the eyes, so I don't think that there's going to be much of a difference if you use one or the other. Then the next color I used in the Norvina palette is Hypnotic. I think that's what it's called. And that's also kind of a terracotta brown color, light terracotta brown color. I use that in the crease, and I use that on my M433 brush from Morphe. And then, as you can see, it's a really nice color to build, you know, the crease up, to give some shadow to the crease. Again, another color within the Anastasia palette that does not have any creasing. Blends really well, no skipping or anything like that. The color that I used for the Luna palette was Waxing, and Waxing is equally as good as the one from the Norvina palette. I didn't see any difference whatsoever when it comes to blending, creasing, or anything like that. It's just they did a really good job on duping that color. The next color I used in the Norvina palette is Soul. Soul is the purple color that everybody was afraid to use. I think it's a beautiful color to build, you know, some shadow, some depth. I like the purple color, so I don't mind using Soul. I went ahead and used that with my M562 brush. It's like a tiny little crease brush that I got from Morphe. It's perfect to get right into the, you know, crease of your eye and do some detail work. So Soul actually blends really nicely. I have no problem with Soul. It's a very deep, sultry, like purple color, and you can pack it on to get to the color that's in the pan. I have no problem with working with Soul. And the same thing with the color in the Lunar palette. It is called Supermoon. Supermoon is a beautiful color as well. I feel like it is a little bit better than the one in the Norvina palette as far as it's a little bit deeper and it blends I just feel like it just looks slightly darker in the purple color. Like it pulls a little bit more purple, and the Norvina palette, it pulls a little bit more grayish, I believe, like a gray purple color. So I like the Super Moon a little bit more because it has more of a purple tint, and the one in the Norvina palette has more of a gray purple tint to it. So I feel like Super Moon is a better color for me to use within the palettes, but they both look really similar on the eye. It's just slightly more purple toned in the Lunar palette. Then the next color I went ahead and used was Celestial. I used that all over the lid in the Norvina palette. Celestial is a really pretty color. It's a purple shimmer color. Really nice to pack on some shimmer, but still have that impact of purple. I used that with my M124. And just so you know, I use the same brush for each palette. I just use my color swatch, so I'm not switching out the brushes at all. And so Celestial went on the lid really nicely. I just patted it on. I swiped it on, and then I patted it on, and then I just patted more on just to get that purple glow. I feel like the one in the Lunar palette is equally as good as the one from Norvina, and the one in the Lunar palette is called Half Moon. It's a great color, and it doesn't look any different from the Norvina palette at all, so I have no complaints. They look identical. Then the next color I used from the Norvina palette was Dreamer. Dreamer is a beautiful glimmer, shimmer, bring to light type of color. I feel like Anastasia does really well at making these type of colors. It just brings a little bit of light to the center of the eye. I think it does really well. I love these type of colors, and I think it's a great color. The color that I used in the Lunar palette was Warning. And that one is just as good. I did have to build that one a little bit. Like I said, the Anastasia palettes do it really well. The company, they do those light, like bring to light, like shimmers really well. So I feel like the Lunar palette, Bad Habit, I feel like Bad Habit did a good job, but just not as creamy. It's not as creamy and not as bright. So you do have to build that one. But once you build it, it looks identical. I just had to go in more than once with that one to get that color to come out. So I feel like they did a really good job of duping this palette. They always do a good job. I would suggest that if you are not really partial and really need the Norvina palette, that you get the Luna palette if you are wanting the colors, because it's so much cheaper. I feel like they do such a good job of making the quality of the palettes just as great as the ones from the Norvina palette. Of course, you're going to get a little bit better quality with the Norvina palette as far as the shimmers go. The mattes blend really nicely, but the shimmers in here are not bad. They're just, you know, you have to build them a little bit more than you would the one from the Norvina, where you get the Norvina and it's like pow, right away you got that shimmer, you got that glimmer in your eye color that you wanted, where you have to just build it a little bit more. But building a color doesn't bother you. When it comes to the shimmers, I would definitely consider just getting the Lunar just to have the colors, because the colors are beautiful. I think the colors in these palettes are absolutely beautiful, and I would highly suggest either one of them. But if you're on a budget, or if you just don't want to spend the extra, you know, $16, I would go with the one from Bad Habit, because they're doing such a good job of duping these palettes. I know that a lot of people don't like dupe palettes because they feel like it's an infringement on the company, and I don't care either way. For me, I can care less. If I can get something at a cheaper price that works just as well, I'd say, you know, go with whatever fits your budget. So that is my review on these palettes. Let me know if you've tried either one, or if you're gonna get either one of them now that you've seen the demos and how they actually perform. For me, I wanted to have either one of them because some of the colors in here are unique to my collection. So I'm always happy to get new ones, even if it's just one or two colors that are unique to my collection. So one of these palettes will probably end up going to my sister so she can have one. Alright, so let me know if you have any questions. Put it down in the description. I'll also have a link for both of them down in the description if you're interested in either one. And I shall talk to you sometime within the week. Alright, bye-bye.